what we're doing here is learning the process, the processes that will help us to always manage towards that congruency that we want. Acknowledgement is one of those rabbit holes. Acknowledge where I am. So when it comes to the rabbit hole, the more we practice awareness and acknowledgement, the more we practice that, the more we will see. So you might take a moment to acknowledge where you are and see little habits of being and, mood and attitudes that you used to ignore because they were so much a part of who you are up until now. And when you just notice that you have been carrying all of these automatic emotional responses or identities, you get to see that and make new choices. So noticing doesn't mean believing. It just means noticing, right? You don't have to take anything that you notice on as this is who I am, and even this is where I am. This is what's happening right this moment. And it's what can change right this moment, right? Or it's what can expand right this moment. Or what can go deeper right this moment. Or it could just be like in the meditation. It doesn't really matter. It's blinking in and out. It's real and it's gone. But at least you see it for what it is. The biggest indicator when it comes to your peace being disturbed by something, that is the indicator. That is the most important indicator of needing to take a moment to acknowledge. Because when it comes to the surviving self, when the surviving self kicks in, and because it's so common and historical and natural and familiar, we sometimes don't know exactly what's going on. There may be some pattern present. We just know that all of a sudden we're feeling however it is that we're feeling. And acknowledging that is important, but understanding that peace is disturbed is instructional for us to go looking so that we can be more intentional and begin to, instead of have our knee-jerk reactions, get curious about what is disturbing my peace. Why does this disturb my peace? What is underneath? What is the thought? What is the experience or the assumption or whatever underneath that is disturbing my peace? The experience of thinking you know where you are is happening to folks all the time. But that's because we live in a society that skates over discomfort or judges it so quickly that we want distance from the judging. So we don't really take ownership of the experience. But if we don't take ownership and we just ignore it, doesn't mean it is gone. It's in there. And if it's taking up space, it's having some level of impact. And what we want to do is to be congruent with ourselves. We want to know where we are so that we can make choices. But knowing where we are lets the deepest part of ourselves trust that we're in good hands. How often are we going off the rails in some automatic default way, right? And there's no way that we can see that without seeing it. Taking a second, a moment, we're going to say 30 seconds, and acknowledge in your journal where you are. Don't assume, that there's any particular direction. Acknowledge where you are and get down as much as you can. Like, what are you feeling? What are you thinking? Are you feeling present, or are you feeling sleepy? Are you feeling like do you have some level of confusion hanging out someplace in your aura? Is there something sort of needling your mind or your heart, but you don't quite know what it is? Are you excited and looking forward to something that's going to happen in the future? Where are you? So take a moment and identify any event from this past week, and if you need to go further, any event. And it doesn't, when we talk about event, don't let it just be like an obvious event. If in fact you've been doing this work and you don't have an immediate event, then look for those places inside where you are still sort of working with or fighting or adjusting for, or have confusion around a chronic area or recurring area. Work on this event. Take a moment, and with this event, what is present? Like, in the same way that we started with asking, where are you? With regards to this event, what is present? Meaning, I feel like, and just fill in the blank to that. I feel like this thing just keeps recurring. Or I feel like, this is the one area where I get tripped up. Or I feel like when this happens, I just get pulled in.